Hey, what's up guys? Ramel here from Mini Arms Depot and welcome back again to the channel. Thank you once again for tuning in. And if this is your first time being here, make sure you hit that subscribe button to make sure that you get the latest and greatest updates on the latest release, which we try to do once or twice per month. So about a couple weeks ago, we released the 112 scale Command Center computer station set, and I'll put the link in the description down below for those of you who haven't seen that yet. But I talked about it in that video that we were also thinking about releasing a sci-fi background diorama prop, and that's what this video is all about. You guys are taking a look at it right now. There were enough requests for it, and people were really from what it sounded like, we're really trying to push forward with it and wanted to see this thing come out. And so we decided to make a little bit more tweaks, and then our 3D designer made some final touches on it, and we made our first prototype 2 weeks ago. We finalized it last week, and we are going to go ahead and release this guy starting tomorrow. And this is like kind of like a trial run for us, so it's not going to basically go into our inventory line for sure just yet 100%, but this is basically just to kind of give it a test run and see how well it does. One of the biggest concerns I have as the shop owner for this is that this thing is freaking massive, and it's about 80 hours of print time that we have invested in this. And that's per set. So having said that, whenever there's a lot of materials and print times that goes into something, I'm a little weary about prices, right? So I'm kind of always looking at it from that perspective. Yes, I love the diorama set. I think it looks freaking awesome, but if it's going to cost too much for people to buy, I may be against it, you know. So I'm always looking at it from that business perspective of things. But no, I think I want to give it a shot and see how well it turns out. This is the 112 scale. Basically, it's going to come with 3 walls, so 1, 2, and 3, and then it's going to come with your floor grating there, and it just really adds a really cool background scene for your action figures. And as you guys can see there right now, I got Iron Man and Tony Stark in there. It really blends in well with any kind of sci-fi stuff, so I think it's going to serve a lot of good purpose for all you sci-fi folks out there that does that kind of diorama. And just as mentioned in the video previously, the measurements are roughly around 14 inches from corner to corner and 12.5 inches from this corner to that corner, and then about 10.5 to 11 inches high. Okay, so again, pretty massive, but I think it will serve a lot of purpose for your photography, especially if you're doing sci-fi, Star Trek, or even, you know, Marvel Legends, Iron Man kind of stuff, and even maybe Transformers that you guys see back there. So yeah, again, this guy is ready to roll out the 112 scale starting tomorrow, March 1st, 2024. And so we will put out a few on eBay and a few on Etsy, and then after that, again, it'll be primarily and exclusively only available on our website. So make sure you guys check out miniarmsdepot.com. Go to that shop now menu item, and you guys will see this thing first and foremost in the new release section. So I kind of changed the camera around a little bit just to kind of give you guys a different angle on how this looks. But yeah, each wall basically has its own pattern of the gratings, and kind of reminds me of like a space center or a space command kind of thing, which we're also thinking about, by the way. And this guy wasn't supposed to come out until early to late summer, but because of our bivouac and green filament dilemma that I also mentioned in the previous video, we were pushing to get this guy out ASAP. And as you guys can see, I was going to talk about this later on, but I'll go ahead and mention him now. Our next release after this guy comes out tomorrow, and also the 118 scale version of this, we will be coming out with a robotic repair station set, or the Iron Man armor repair station set, or mech armor, whatever you want to call it. but it's going to be our version of that robotic repair station set, and I'll take him out here in a few minutes, and that way you guys can see more up close. But that is scheduled to come out here within the next 3 weeks, and then we will also have a lab experiment table, and then we're also going to come out with a lab experiment set that will go hand in hand with Dr. Mindbender and also our lab chamber set that came out about a month and a half or maybe even 2 months ago now. So things are starting to come together and pieces are starting to come out, which will eventually complete the entire set, and that was our goal for this year for the 1/12 scale. So again, just want to give you guys a little bit more angle on this, just to kind of see what it looks like. But I'm going to go ahead and take out the action figures inside just so that you guys have a clear view of how it really looks inside. So let me go break that down real quick, and then let's take a quick tour. Okay, so I apologize if the camera is bouncing around, but I'm holding my camera by hand here. And again, let's take a quick tour here. Basically, that's how it's going to look. And again, it's 14 inches across on the length on the longest side, and then about 12.5 inches deep, and then about 10.5 to 11 inches high. So basically, the way this guy breaks down is it's going to come in 3 levels. And let me just lift up one of the walls here. You guys can see that right there. It's going to come in 3 different wall sets with the background grates on them already. And we're going to have it already assembled by the time it gets delivered to you. So when we package this thing, it's already going to be 99% assembled. And the only thing that will be required for you guys to do is to take the floor and slide it into place just like so. Oh, and then I got to take that pipe out, which just pushes up here, and everything just kind of slides into place there, and then you put the covers on. But yeah, I mean, after that, that's pretty much it, and then you guys can do your thing from there. And I mentioned earlier about the 1/18 scale version of this. Somebody from YouTube, and I think he's a subscriber on our channel, mentioned that, hey, you know, don't forget us 1/18 scale guys, because I think this diorama wall set will also work for the 4-inch G.I. Joes or Star Wars or whatever the case may be. And at first I thought, well, I don't know if that will work or it'll scale well with the 4-inch action figures, primarily because the size of the gratings may be a little bit too big. And initially we scaled this primarily for the 1/12. Although we intentionally wanted to release a version of this for the 1/18 scale, I think we are going to go ahead and just roll with this as well. But instead of the 3 levels for the 1/18, it'll be 2 levels. So let me show you guys that really quick and see how it looks with the 4-inch 1/18 scale guys, and you guys can kind of get a picture of what I'm talking about. So let me break it down real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. We have both Grunt and Snake Eyes, our 4-inch figures here. For some of you who may already know, we do carry some 1/18 scale accessories for the 1/18 scale or 3 3/4, 4-inch action figures, but we are very, very limited, right? I mean, it's got nothing in comparison to our 1/12 scale accessories. I mean, we do carry the control panel sets right there with the chair. And this is basically how it's going to look. So instead of the 3 stacks, 3 walls, we're going to shrink it down to 2, but keep everything else the same. And I think it's going to play out okay. And obviously the pipe that you guys see up there will be much shorter. It'll be pretty much more leveled and flush on the top of the second wall. But instead of redoing the whole thing and reconfiguring everything, I think the grades and the size and everything else will pretty much hand in hand play with the 1/18 scales. And again, instead of just the 3 walls, we're gonna leave it at 2, making it around 7 inches high, which is pretty big enough for most 1/18 scale dioramas anyway. So Yeah, I think it's gonna go great. I think we'll go ahead and roll with that. We are finalizing the pipes. Again, instead of something meant for the 3 wall, it's gonna go with 2. And then we will have the 1/18 scale version of the Sci-Fi Diorama wall by next week, March 8th. And we're gonna start rolling that out. So same size, it's 14 inch across, 12.5 inch going that way on the Y axis, and then it's going to be about 7 inches, 7.5 inches high. So thank you for that YouTuber, and I can't remember his name, but I'll put his username here on the screen somewhere. Thank you very much for bringing that up. And again, we were thinking of releasing this very same version for the 1/18 scales, but I just never thought of, hey, maybe just reusing this, because at first I thought it was too big, but from the looks of it, I think it's going to play out really well. So again, thank you so much for that. I'll put his name on the screen here, and we're going to go ahead and roll with that starting March 8th. Okay, so we're back at the 112 scale version again, and right before I leave here and let you guys go, I just wanted to show real quick what we are currently working on, and I imagine this guy coming out here within the next week or 2 as well. We're trying to time things a little bit better because we got another big project coming out here. It's supposed to be scheduled here March 15th, but it could be delayed. And it's one of our biggest projects of the year. It's got a lot of pieces, and it's pretty massive in size as well. But we are going to start releasing here hopefully March 15th, and I think we're still on schedule. And that's going to be the 112 scale battle armor mech suit. And that is primarily for the G.I. Joe classified line, but it can also work for a lot of the 6-inch action figures or 112 scale figures that are similar in size. But we primarily had in mind the G.I. Joe classified line for that specific diorama prop. And so right around that same time frame, we are also working on what you guys are looking at here is the robotic repair station set, and it works great with any Iron Man type of dioramas or even transformers that you guys can see here. And if you guys can see the wiring, we are starting to incorporate and implement a lot of circuitry such as LED lights. So let me shut the lights off really quick here and show you guys what that looks like with the LEDs. And there you have it. And basically we are starting to do a lot more of these kind of things, and we're pretty excited about it, and I think it looks pretty cool. So we are also finalizing this design, and primarily just to have a way to hide the wires and the battery compartment and all that good stuff. So we're trying to do some final touches on it, and our 3D designer has been really awesome. We couldn't have done this without him, without his help. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things coming out, a lot of things going on, but look for March 15th. I think we're still on schedule for the Battle Armor Snake, or Battle Armor Mech Suit is our own version. And then shortly after that, this guy should be coming out, if not even before. And because the Battle Armor Mech Suit is just such a big project, that there's so many pieces, it could get delayed by a week or 2, perhaps even more. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. But first and foremost, obviously, again, starting tomorrow, you guys should start seeing in our shop a few on Etsy, a few on eBay will be available, and then after that, exclusively only available on our website, your diorama sci-fi wall set for the 112 scale, and then your 118 scale version of it will come out as well starting March 8th. Okay, so that's all I got for now. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all of your support. And it's been a real pleasure making all these accessories. It's been really fun, and it's been awesome being a part of this action figure community. So again, thank you so much for being here, and until next time, thank you and take care. God bless.